Hello guys, and welcome on today's video where I'm going to share with you how to work basically with GitHub. For that, I've run this small portfolio website with my three files, okay, and I also have a couple picture that I'm going to use on my website, okay. So let me pre-visualize this quickly so you can see a little bit how our website gonna look. Show preview. So that's it. Okay. Let me know in comment if you want me to share uh, the sample of this program so you can write your portfolio also and add it on your resume. I will be happy to help with that. Okay. So that's a little bit how our program gonna look. And first, I'm going to show you how you can host that website on internet, on GitHub, okay, on internet using GitHub, okay. So for that, we're going to open our GitHub account quickly right there. So if you don't have a GitHub account yet, let's create it, okay. Just go on Google, type github.com and create your account. It's a good tool to collaborate and versioning your code, okay, your programming code. So once you are on our GitHub account, this is mine, okay. I'm going to start by creating a new repository for my uh, portfolio website. So I'm going to call it IT support portfolio. So IT support portfolio, okay. And you're going to make sure to choose the public one here because the private account is costly and I don't want to spend money for that right now. So that's it. You should make sure to add a readme file, okay, because this one going to allow you to add some new file and so on. So I'm going to create my repository now. So once I've created, I'm going to come right there and upload files, and I'm going to check on my computer quickly to get my file and drop them here, okay. So let me do that quickly right there. So I'm going to open the folder that contain all this on my computer and just drop them here, okay. So let me check that quickly. So this is all my file. So when I drop them, you're going to see that they are opening up, okay. So you can see my index.html, my contact.html, yarn, and my style dash css, okay. So once I have uploaded them, I'm going to commit change right there, okay. 1 minute ago, initial commit, okay. So you have all my file right there now, okay. So I will come back on setting now, move on pages. Once I'm on pages right there, branch configuring, I'm going to click over there and choose main, okay, then save, okay. Once I have saved it, I'm going to wait a couple seconds and refresh the page, and I should have a link available somewhere here that I will be able to copy and just drop on my resume. So let's give a couple seconds and come back. So let's refresh it now, and you see this is a website that is available. So I can copy that link quickly and come on my resume and attach it on my resume, for example on Canva here. Okay, I can come over there on contact info on my resume. This is my resume for IT support technician that I have written. So if I come here and I click on that one, I click on modify, on edit, you see I can come right there and just drop my link here. So when I'm going to submit that resume to an employer, it's going to be able to click on the link and come straight on my website. Okay, so when I'm going to send this to an employer, the employer should be able to click on the link right there and access my website online. Okay, so let me show you exactly how it's working. Let's visit my website, my site. I can click over there, or I can copy this link and move from the browser. You see, it's available online. So this is the best way to display everything that you're able to do. Uh, it's professional. Sometimes resume is just something pretty short, and you can provide the link of your portfolio if an employee want to know more about you. Okay, so this was the first part of this video. The next part gonna be about how to update some stuff on our code. Okay, so I'm going to show you the basic stuff that you need to know in order to work on the versioning stuff with your code in local using GitHub. Okay, so for that, you're going to need first to install Git Bash on your computer. Okay, just type Git Bash, download. If you are using Windows, you're just going to download the version that you are using. Okay, so normally on this link you should be able to download Git Bash. Okay, so we absolutely need it in order to be able to proceed with our Git clone, our and after that versioning everything about our code. Okay, so once you did that, you're going to install it on your computer, and normally this is the Git Bash command line interface. This is how it's looking. Okay, so um, once you have everything done right there, okay, I'm gonna clone my repository on my computer. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how we can proceed with that. So first, you're gonna need to install Git Bash. Okay, once you have installed it, you're going to move on the next step where you're going to configure. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to run is git config global username and git config global user.email. So git config global username, your name. So about your name, you're going to put the name of your GitHub account. Okay, what is the name of our GitHub account? That's what you need to provide here. So it's this name, DevOps with Jan. Paste it here. I did it. Then we're going to make git config dash global username and provide the email address attached to your GitHub account. So I'm just going to clear that one up and add my email. Once I did it, I'm going to move on the next step. Okay, so I'm going to authenticate with GitHub. Okay, so we're going to we're going to see first how we're going to authenticate using HTTPS. Okay, with personal access token recommended for simplicity and security. Okay, so for that, let's generate a personal access token on GitHub. Okay, so we're going to move on our GitHub account again now. Going to move on GitHub profile setting. Then we click on developer settings. Personal access token. We can use each of the above, but I'm going to use the token classic one. So once you are here, we're going to click on generate new token classic. And we're going to provide a simply note. Okay, I'm going to call it DevOps doc. Okay, and I'm just going to leave everything empty here and click on generate token. Normally you should copy that token and paste it somewhere. After that, we can come back on our repository. Copy URL. I'm going to clone my repository here using git clone command. When I list now, you can see that I have it on my laptop. I'm going to cd inside it and list, and you can see that I have all this now. Okay, now let's run git remote fnv to list all the remote repositories that Git knows. Okay, you can see that this one is showing up, right? All right, so right now I'm going to change something quickly about my project, and you're going to see how we can update it online. Okay, so let me do that quickly. Okay, let's come back on our code now. Let's say that I will change all I will change all the color right there with this code. Okay, I want to put only this color on everything about the root uh, ID. Okay, so let me do that. I just want to show you how to update. Okay, so I know that it doesn't make sense, but I just want to make you understand the concept. Okay, so once I proceed with these changes, I'm just going to come back on my Git right there, and I'm going to run Git status, and you see modify index HTML. That means that I've modified something on my code, and it's about the color. Okay, so the first thing to do is run git add. I'm going to make that, or I can just provide the index.html file, the same stuff. After run this, if I run this status again, you see modified is showing up in green color now. So I want to do after that git commit -m, you provide the description of what you have changed. Change root color, for example. Then the last command that we run is git push origin main. Okay, so you can see that we got an error. This error is due to the configuration, the SSH configuration that I've set up on my GitHub repository during my previous series on Ansible. So because of that, we couldn't use the HTTPS link in order to proceed with our clone and update through our GitHub. We absolutely have to create another SSH access. So let me show you how we're going to proceed that. So we're going to come on our Git Bash and type this code ssh keygen -t ed25519. If you are using a Windows machine like me, this one should work. And -c, you're going to provide the email address that you are using on your GitHub account, and they're going to ask you if you want to save it in the default directory .ssh/id etc. So I want to keep it like that because that's work for me, and I'm just going to say yes. Normally nothing going to show up for you, so I'm just going to write, but you are not going to be able to see what I'm writing during that SSH agent configuration process. I already talked a lot about it on my Ansible series with my Linux server, so let's watch that Ansible series as well if you didn't watch it. And after that, we ask the passphrase. So I'm going to provide my passphrase, my first name, and you are not going to be able to see on that one as well. So after provided my first name, they ask to enter the same passphrase again. I'm going to provide it again, and it's that passphrase that you're going to use on the next step to validate our updating process with GitHub. So I'm going to do right now cat tilde slash dot ssh, and I'm going to choose my public key on that directory. So you can go on that directory and check if you are following with me since the beginning. Okay, so normally it should be the public key. Okay, so I'm just gonna add that pub on this ID and take off everything else before that SSH and just keep the tilde. So let me add that pub, that pub. Okay, awesome. And you can see my key that I'm going to copy and use on GitHub, add it on GitHub in order to allow me to use uh, my updating process without any issue uh, during my updating process, my versioning and so on. So right now, I'm going to come back on our GitHub profile, move on settings, then on the left side, I'm going to scroll down and click on SSH right there, and you can see the key that I was talking about a couple of minutes ago, the one that I've created on my Ansible series. That Ansible series is just awesome. Let's watch this Ansible series. But right now I need to add a new SSH key, uh, the one that I'm going to use with my with my computer. So I'm going to call that one uh, something like HP because I'm using an HP computer right now. Or maybe no, I'm just gonna say Yan Yan PC. Let's say Yan PC, and I'm gonna keep it on authentication key about key type. And what I'm gonna change is just I'm gonna change this space in key. I'm gonna copy the key that I've generated using the cat command on my Git Bash, and I'm gonna paste it right there. Okay, so once I did that, I'm gonna scroll down and add SSH key. So it's so easy. Okay. So right now that I have connected my GitHub account with my computer, everything looks good. Okay. So we're gonna be able to move on the next step. IT support portfolio is my website, my portfolio website that I've added a couple of minutes ago. So I'm going to move on SSH right now and make sure to copy the code that is on SSH, that is on the SSH, okay? If you take HTTPS, it's not going to work. So once I've copied that, I'm coming back on my Git Bash on my computer, and I'm just going to move inside a new directory. So just a couple Linux command that I'm typing right there. Since Git Bash is using the Bash language, cd dash dash slash it's allowing me to jump back one directory behind, and I'm going to create a new folder using the mkd command. It's the folder that's going to contain my website, the repository of my website in local right now with the SSH method. So I just want to make sure that you understand everything. That's why I'm trying to repeat the process. Okay. So make sure to be on SSH and copy. And we're just going to make the Git clone exactly as the one that we did before. And we're going to have our repository copy on our computer in local. And if you didn't add a SSH key on your GitHub account yet, I can confirm 100%. I can confirm you 100% that the previous method with HTTPS is gonna work. Okay. So you see that when I'm trying to proceed with Git clone right now, I have a requirement. I need to enter my passphrase. So I'm just gonna enter my first name that I have set up a couple seconds ago, and that's it. If I'm listening again, you can see that I have my IT support portfolio, which is exactly the one that I've copied I've copied on my GitHub account. Okay. So right now I'm gonna sit inside that repository quickly, and you can see that I have everything on place. I'm gonna open my project on Visual Studio once again, and I'm going to change my primary color, only my primary color right now, to red color, and I'm going to run through the same process that uh, we, we did a couple minutes ago, and you're going to see that everything going to work. Okay, so when I'm running git status without changing anything, you see your branch is up to date, there is nothing to change. So I'm going to preview this page again, okay, and I'm going to change that primary color to red, and you'll be able to see that red color that is going to show up just on my header on the section yarn created. So once I do that, I'm going to save my index.html and come back on Git Bash. Right now, I'm going to run the Git status once again, and you're going to be able to see that I have right now a red alert message stating that something has changed and we need to commit it. So you see modify index on red color. Okay, so that's exactly how GitHub is working. You're going to be able to see if there's some changes that you need to commit or no. So I'm going to proceed with git add index.html. Remember, I've talked to you about it on the previous example with HTTPS. You can use the dot, which means here, or you can use the name of the file where you have processed the changing. So after that, I'm going to run my git commit command. And about the git commit, I'm going to use the -m module in order to provide a comment on what has been changed on my code. Okay, so it's my primary color that has changed. Okay, so I'm going to provide a short description about what has changed, and that one going to be really important if you are working um, with some coworker or with people else. They're going to be able to see some comment on what you have changed on the code, and it's going to be easier for them to understand what's going on. Okay, so that's a little bit it. Change primary color to red, and finally I'm just going to run the last command, which is git push main origin. Okay, git push origin main, sorry. So I'm going to run this last comment quickly, and they're going to ask once again to provide my passphrase, and I'm just going to type my first name that I've provided, and boom, voila, everything looks good now. You're going to see that when I'm going to move on the GitHub site, when I refresh the page, you're going to see that I have a new commit. You see, change primary color to red 1 minute ago. You see, so after a couple seconds, when I'm going to try to access my apps online, I'm going to be able to see that new color. Okay, it's not going to be the one that I had before. And right there, you can see on red color what has been changed, and on green, what is the new parameter parameters about my primary color, which is red. So I'm going to come back on my code quickly, and yeah, just to show you once again, change primary color to red is showing up. And yeah, so I'm going to come back on the previous color once again, okay, and just run through the process once again. Git add, git commit, and finally um, git push origin main. And you're going to see that you're going to have our section color that's going to be updated again. Our root section that's going to be updated again through our website. Okay, so let's do it quickly. Git add index.html. Okay, so I've used index.html that term. I didn't use the dot, and you see I have the same result. Awesome. Git commit hyphen m coming back to the previous color. So you just have to write some note that's gonna explain what you did, what you have changed to everybody that's gonna check on your code. Okay, so that's it. So after that, I'm just gonna run my git push origin main. So we're still gonna have enter passphrase. Okay, my first name, and we are good to go. So when I'm moving on other side now, and if I refresh, you're going to see that I have a new change now. Okay, you see, coming back to the previous color. So you see, you can see in the file that the previous one was red, and I come back on the other color code. And when I'm going to move on the website, you're going to see that everything looks good again. So let's see what we have right now. You see that everything come back exactly as the one that you get before. Thank you for watching until the end. Give a thumbs up and see you on the next video. If you have done something, like, please, and subscribe. Bye bye.